At This Moment in Time by Matt Geer. Listening at this moment in time is much like a dog chasing its tail. When a listener hears and subsequently directs their attention to a moment, they are merely examining a memory. If one anticipates a moment and focuses on a time point, they are merely preempting a moment. Many may describe temporality as a linear experience, left to right, right to left, or a continuous line stretching to and from eternity. However, temporality operates in absolute parallel with spatiality. I see time as something which comes at and over you. Occasionally, you may be looking forward and observing a time point approaching you. At other times, you may be looking behind you and witnessing a time point fade into the infinite distance. The past and future are strong forces constantly fighting to grab your attention. Perhaps you could look up. Much like a cloud flies high above your head, the time point at which the raindrop leaves the cloud compared to when it hits your head sits in a different place on the temporal spectrum. What may feel like the present is often the past and, if not, a murky anticipation of a time point. Although a real-world moment and a moment as a manifestation of our consciousness are different, what qualities does a real-world moment have? How do we interact with a time point when we experience it? The primary stage of expressing a moment in time is our delayed experience to a real-world time point. We often use terms such as immediate or present to describe this. Real-world moments are indestructible, but often our consciousness is shrouded in time points that these time points present as decaying points over time. This decay will eventually present as nothingness, but a false nothingness. A period of temporal experience may follow, where the initial experience of a time point presents as nothingness, but may appear again as a memory. This memory has very little to do with the fixed real-world time point, but is in fact a false manifestation of a time point experience. Both the time point experience and the memory are not bound by the real-world temporal spectrum, and so cannot be classified as a moment. Moments occur in the real world and are present as time points, not in the consciousness. However, human consciousness acts as a barrier between the real world and our apprehension of a time point. A moment in temporal consciousness may present as either a loose-fitting observation of a time point approaching us, a decayed time point experience, or a severely injured time point manifesting as a memory.